Once upon a time, in a small village nestled between rolling hills and blooming meadows, there lived a young girl named Ella. Ella was known throughout the village for her love of painting. Her room was filled with colorful canvases, each one depicting a different part of the world: lush forests, snowy mountains, and golden beaches. But despite her talent, Ella felt like something was missing. She wanted her paintings to come to life. One sunny afternoon, while Ella was sketching a beautiful sunset by the riverbank, she noticed something strange. Among the weeds near the water's edge, there was a glittering object half buried in the sand. Curiosity piqued, Ella crawled over and pulled it free. It was a small, delicate paintbrush with shimmering bristles that seemed to glow in the sunlight. The handle was carved with intricate symbols, and it felt warm to the touch. Ella had no idea where it came from or what made it glow, but as soon as she held it, she felt a strange surge of energy. She decided to try painting with it right away. She grabbed a blank canvas she had brought along and began to paint a simple flower. The moment her brush touched the canvas, something magical happened. The flower she painted bloomed right before her eyes, bright and full of color. Ella gasped in amazement as the flower grew, its petals soft and fragrant, filling the air with the sweet scent of spring. "This can't be real," Ella whispered to herself. But it was. The flower stood tall in front of her, as real as any flower in the meadow. She touched its petals, and they felt just like the ones in nature. Excited and a little nervous, Ella quickly painted a small bird. As she finished the final stroke, the bird fluttered to life, stretching its wings and soaring into the sky. Ella watched in awe as it circled above her, before flying off into the distance. "I've discovered something incredible," she thought, her heart racing. The magical paintbrush had the power to make her paintings come to life. Ella spent the next few days experimenting. She painted trees that grew tall and strong, clouds that floated across the sky, and even a sparkling stream that trickled through the village. Everything she painted became real. The villagers were amazed by her creations, and they marveled at the beauty of her work. They asked her to paint flowers for their gardens, birds for their farms, and trees to shade their homes. Ella felt proud, knowing she could make the world a more beautiful place with just a few strokes of her brush. But soon, Ella's excitement began to cloud her judgment. One afternoon, she painted a giant elephant to carry heavy loads for the villagers. The elephant lumbered into the village, towering over the houses. At first, the villagers cheered, but then they started to panic. The elephant was too big for the narrow streets, and it accidentally knocked over fences, damaged crops, and scared the livestock. Ella quickly realized that her creation was causing more harm than good. The next day, she painted a bright, cheerful rainbow to cheer up the villagers after the chaos. But the rainbow was so vivid and large that it covered the whole sky, blocking out the sun. The crops started to wither, and the villagers could no longer work in the fields. Ella tried to fix it, but the rainbow only grew brighter and more intense. She realized that sometimes, too much of something beautiful could be just as damaging as something harmful. As the days went by, Ella continued to paint more and more, trying to fix the problems she had created. But each time she painted something new, it seemed to bring unintended consequences. The villagers grew frustrated, and Ella began to feel overwhelmed. She was no longer creating joy with her brush, she was causing confusion and trouble. One evening, as Ella sat by the river, staring at the paintbrush, she began to understand the lesson she had missed. She had been so focused on using the brush to make everything perfect that she had forgotten the importance of balance and responsibility. The magical paintbrush was powerful, but it was not meant to be used carelessly. With a deep breath, Ella decided it was time to undo the damage she had caused. She went to the village square and painted a small bird, just a simple bird with gentle wings. As soon as it flew into the sky, Ella whispered, "Please, help me fix what I've done." The bird flew off, and as it did, it carried with it all the chaos that had been created, fading the elephant away, dispelling the rainbow, and restoring the balance of nature. Ella had learned that magic, no matter how wondrous, came with great responsibility. She could no longer use the paintbrush to create whatever she wanted without thinking of the consequences. From that day on, Ella painted with care, using the brush only when she truly believed it would bring happiness and peace to those around her. The villagers, now understanding the power of Ella's creations, worked together with her to create beautiful gardens, trees, and animals that helped their village grow and thrive. Ella's magical paintbrush became a symbol of hope and creativity, but also of balance, respect, and responsibility. And so, Ella continued to paint, knowing that with great power comes the need for wisdom, and that true beauty lies not in making everything perfect, but in understanding when to create, and when to let things be.